So today I have a really fun, creative exercise for your music practice, and we're going to look at a mode. And if you don't know what a mode is, or you've heard about it and it sounds complicated, don't run away, because it's actually a really beautiful, simple concept. And I think it'll just be really fun. And we're exploring newness this week, so this is a way to bring something new to your practice. So I'm going to teach you what is the Lydian mode, how do you play it, how do you sing it if you're a singer, and then some exercises for using it in your practice, including a bonus improvisation exercise if you're a classical player. Maybe you want to run away, but don't run away. Just give it a go. That's why we're here. That's why we're practicing, to explore new things, to find new sounds, new ideas, and just get better at playing music. Strike, spark. Hello, welcome to Practice Space. If you're new, I'm Erica. I am a musician, a composer, and a music teacher. And this is a space for all musicians, all levels, whatever instrument you play, singers too. And so I post a new video every day with a weekly theme. You can subscribe if you'd like to follow the podcast. And I also teach online, so I'll leave a link to my lessons in the description. So the Lydian mode, you may be sitting there saying, what is it? I don't know what a mode is, or I've heard of a mode and it's complicated. Is this music theory? This is for me to tell you that you don't need to know why. You don't need to know why the Lydian mode exists. You don't need to know how it's formed. You just need to know that it exists and maybe what notes are in it and how it sounds for the purposes of today's exercise. Sometimes if you ask too many whys about music theory, the answer is too long and complicated, and you understand less than if you hadn't asked the questions in the beginning. So the thing about the Lydian mode is you have to hear it. So I'm going to sing. I'm going to put a drone on my tablet here. So I'm just using the app Tonal Energy to give me this drone. And I'm going to sing the Lydian mode with solfège, like do, re, mi syllables, and see if you can pick the note in the scale that sounds different to the scales that you are used to hearing. So we've got do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do, ti, la, so, fa, mi, re, do. And I'll sing it once again. So this is a very good oral exercise. Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do, ti, la, so, fa, mi, re, do. And hopefully you guessed that it was the fourth note, the fa, that sounds different to the major scale that you're used to hearing. And I love the Lydian scale. It's one of my favorite modes, and I love playing with it and improvising with it. I don't know if I can explain in words the sound of the Lydian mode. Maybe you have your own thoughts about how it sounds. It just really kind of gets me here and does something when I hear and when I play in Lydian harmony. So we have our fourth is altered, and the fourth is actually raised by a semitone. So I was singing in B flat just then, but it's easier for us to think in the key of C because it's just a more straightforward scale. So our regular C major scale has C, D, E, F. The fourth note is an F. A C Lydian scale has an F sharp instead of an F. That's the only difference, just one note different. So if you can play a C major scale, you can play a C Lydian scale, and you don't need to know why, you don't need to know how, you just need to know that you can now play a C Lydian scale. And so this is my first exercise for you in your practice today, is just to practice playing a C Lydian scale and practice. So your notes will be C, D, E, F sharp, G, A, B, C. And if you're a guitar player and you kind of play with, you don't really know the notes you're playing, but you have scale patterns, you just take the fourth note of the scale and you move it up by one fret. So you change the fourth note up by a fret, and that will give you your Lydian scale as well. And if you are a singer, then it might look a little bit different to you. You may like to do this as an oral exercise. So I will sing the Lydian scale again, and you can have a go at singing along with me if you like. So we'll sing it in B flat. So B flat's going to be our do. So do, re, mi, fa. This is a good exercise for singers, is to hold the kind of notes that you're trying to work on. So do, re, And if I don't resolve the fa to the so, there's a lot of tension there if that fa is left unresolved, which is probably some of the magic of the Lydian scale. So I'll sing it again from do. Do, re, mi, fa. And then if we keep going, sol, la, ti, do. And then we'll sing down from the top do. Do, ti, la, so, fa. And again, holding that fa so we can hear the quality of it. Do, ti, la, so, fa. Mi, re, do. And let's sing it from the bottom to the top. Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do, ti, la, so, fa, mi, re, do. So this is your Lydian scale. And I have a bonus extra exercise, and this is an improvisation exercise, so don't run away if you're terrified of improvising. The key to improvising is just to start very simply. So we're just going to start with just a small set of notes. And the Lydian scale, the key difference to the major scale is in the first 4 notes. So we can take the first 4 notes, or maybe we could take the first 5 notes if you want to have that resolution up to the so, the 5th note. And these are our materials for improvisation. So we have 5 notes. You can potentially play those 5 notes in several octaves, so you already have a couple of options. And the first task may be just to play those notes in all of the octaves that you have available to you on your instrument. So if I do this with voice, we start with a very simple idea. So do, re, mi, fa, mi, re, do. And I sung a normal major scale, so do, re, mi, fa, mi, re, do, which is maybe my unintentional demonstration of the difference between the major scale and the Lydian scale. So do, re, mi, fa, mi, re, do. Then maybe we add some different rhythms. Do, re, mi, re, mi, fa, mi, fa. I'm still basically singing the notes in order. I'm just adding a little bit of rhythmic and some kind of like pedaling back and forth between the notes. Do, re, mi, fa, mi, re, do, re, do, re, mi, fa, mi, fa, so, fa, mi, re, do. So far, I haven't sung any of the notes out of order. I haven't done any like arpeggiated jumps or anything like that. So that might be the next step. Do, re, fa, do, re, fa, re, fa, so, fa, mi, do, mi, fa, mi, so, fa, mi, re, do. And that is the basics of improvising with our little 5-note Lydian scale. If we use 4 notes, it's called a tetrachord. It's a little bit of extra bonus music theory for you, but the 5 notes is, I don't know, just half a scale, I suppose. So that is my task for you, is to try playing the Lydian scale to begin with. So the notes are C, D, E, F sharp, G, A, B, C. And then if you're feeling brave, I think you should do it anyway. If you're not feeling brave, is to try improvising with those first 5 notes of the Lydian scale. And then of course, if you get really good at the first 5 notes, you can add in the top half of the scale and go down and just have a lot of fun with the Lydian mode. So let me know in the comments if you try this, if you like the Lydian scale. Maybe if you have another favorite mode, you can let me know what it is in the comments. And if you like this video, that's kind of motivating for me to keep making this content. And I'll see you next time. And don't forget to stick around for a nice, calming relaxation exercise after this, so that'll get you in a really nice space to potentially tackle some difficult, maybe scary improvising if that's not something you are so comfortable with. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye. So let's just take some time to prepare the body and the mind for practice. Take out your instrument, books, music, whatever you need for your practice today, and then spend a few moments making the space comfortable. And when you're ready, coming to a place of stillness, you can stand or sit with your instrument, and then with the next exhale, gently closing the eyes. Bring your awareness to your breath. Notice where in the body you feel that breath moving. The nose, the throat, chest, diaphragm. Where you feel the rise of each inhale and the fall of each exhale. And now you can begin to count each breath. 1 with the inhale, 2 with the exhale, 3 inhale, 4 exhale. Just up to a count of 10, then returning back to 1 again. And if any thoughts appear in the mind, simply noting, thinking, or any feelings, noting, feeling, and bringing the attention back to the breath. If you find you're distracted, simply returning to the count of 1, back to 10, and then repeat back at 1. So now slowly bringing your awareness back to the body, feeling the weight of your body in the chair, or the feeling of the feet connected to the floor. Maybe the feeling of your instrument under your fingers, its texture. And then, when you're ready, you can blink the eyes open, and I wish you a wonderful day's practice.